Good morning, everyone. I'm Mauro. I work for the Office of the CTO at Google. So at Google, we know very, very well what happens when we combine great technology, people, and passion. And when we do that, we know we can achieve some things. So when we were invited to participate in this program, we thought it was a great opportunity for us. Because we know we are not going to be able to save the planet alone. We know we're going to need the Jedis. We know we're going to need the next generation, and we want to empower them to be able to use the technology and everything that we have achieved so far and advance further our efforts to save the planet. So Sustain Tech Accelerator is an accelerator program for nature-based solutions, and it's a collaboration of 6 organizations that really care about the environment. DVS, Google, the National University of Singapore, Temasek, Bera, and the World Bank. We got 300 applications from 60 different countries.
Through the Sustain Tech Accelerators practices, we had an honor of working with fantastic startups. So my team had the honor of working with Treevia.
Registrations finally landed on these 5 startups. They are from USA, Canada, Brazil, as well as UK, covering very different aspects of using disruptive technologies, developing solutions that help the adoption of nature-based solutions. We are a true global virtual accelerator. So these are the 5 founders who are going to present to you today. First up, we have Emily Shinzato, the co-founder and director and people performances at Treevia Forest Technologies. Over to you, Emily. She's dialing in from São Paulo, Brazil, and the time now is past midnight at the moment. Over to you, Emily.
How to scale carbon measurement and forest projects around the world. Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. My name is Emily Shinzato. I'm a forest engineer and co-founder of Treevia Forest Technologies. So before I answer this question, I'd like to propose an exercise of imagination. So imagine yourself as a field worker in the middle of a tropical forest. It's very humid, it's warm, full of insects and animals. Imagine that you have to collect information like diameter or height of hundreds or even thousands of trees during weeks. Now, imagine yourself as a business executive or a director of a large industry in any segment, inserted in a highly competitive scenario and being responsible for implementing net zero policies and managing carbon investments of millions or even billions of dollars. What if you had to make these investments in carbon projects using this type of information? Using low precision equipment, exposing people to dangerous conditions, and at the end, generating very little information for monitoring carbon sequestration. This is actually the reality of this sector. Every year, we negotiated billions of dollars based on this type of information. Collecting data in this way, it affects the reliability and the scalability of NBS projects that we consider key to unlock companies' net zero pledge. And the number of companies committed to net zero is growing exponentially. So the question is, how do we reduce the costs At the same time, we increase scalability. And the most important, the reliability of these measurements. So with that in mind, in 2016, a group of engineers passionate about forest and tech gathered to found Treevia in Brazil. Our mission is to build a more sustainable future where people and forests are connected. And how does our solution work? So Treevia solution is based in 3 pillars. So the first one is the ground truth. Here is where we collect the information by autonomous IoT devices developed by Treevia, and we remotely monitor information and climate variables over years without any human intervention. The second pillar here is related to artificial intelligence, remote sensing, and big data. Here is where we transform data into intelligence by applying the most advanced algorithms. And the last, but not least, is the third, is related to data democratization. Here is where any stakeholder can have access to data from anywhere in the world. So they can be aware, save money, make more money by monitoring their forest projects. And we are helping our clients to build an auditable track record of their carbon project. It's a real movie of forest growth. With our solution, different projects can be compared and monitored, allowing a clear understanding of climate effects. The most interesting part of our solution is that the IoT sensor is just one of the data input elements in the system. So traditional data can be collected manually using a spreadsheet or even our mobile device. All this information is sent to the cloud and being processed online. So this is giving us a huge scalability. Our business model is based on a set fee per sensor installed plus an annual fee per monitored area. And to give you guys some examples, we share our business case from a company, our client called Radix, in the extreme north of Brazil, in the Amazon jungle. So they are enabling forest investors to plant mahogany forest, providing more accountability of their projects using Treevia solutions. The other example here is TRC, which is also a company in the middle of the Amazon jungle, where they are studying climate change effects on their forest assets and building their company strategy. And the third example here is a company called Eldorado in Brazil. They have started to replace their manual measurements, and they are qualifying their professionals for a new era, the era of data. And this project here is using IoT for forest measurement, and is the biggest project using this type of IoT in the world. And it was closed and delivered during the Sustain Tech acceleration. This is just some examples of a legion of customers that are helping us to build a new future. The solution demand is global. So potential customers from more than 20 countries around the world have already shown interest in the solution. And returning to the question, connecting forests around the world. This is how we will scale carbon measurement in forest projects all over the world. And now Treevia has an open fundraising round. And if you think you could help us on this journey, it would be a pleasure to talk. We are Treevia, and I invite you all to join us as we connect forests around the world. Thank you.
Currently, Emily, their team Treevia is only in Brazil, so a lot of opportunity to expand overseas outside Brazil market. Thank you so much, Emily.